Hi there Star Wars collectors, and welcome to another Bossk's Bounty video. And I just wanted to make this video today because it is Mando Monday, and even though we have not had any reveals whatsoever for the Vintage Collection or the Black Series, there were a couple of things revealed for the Mission Fleet, which is essentially the sort of line that's aimed at children. And the two reveals that they've made today for the Mission Fleet interests me a lot because they are two things that I really do want in the Vintage Collection. And I do hope that essentially, because these have been revealed for the Mission Fleet and also one of them has already been revealed for the Black Series, that they will come along for the Vintage Collection at some point. So let's take a look at the first one, which is the speeder bike. So of course it is that white speeder bike that have featured in both the end of season 1 and one of the episodes of season 2. And you get the little speeder bike with a little join-on gun thing with the blaster, which of course I'm not really interested in. And the biker scout that goes on top of there, you know, he looks pretty good as well. These are little miniature figures, but as I said, it just interests me that these things have been revealed for the Mission Fleet, but as yet for the Vintage Collection. So, you know, we are desperately in need of a speeder bike in the Vintage Collection, whether that be the Return of the Jedi speeder bike or this one from the Mandalorian. But I think this one's a dead cert for us next year at some point. As I said, they've done it for the Black Series. Now they've done it for the Mission Fleet. So now we need a speeder bike with biker scout and a little satchel for the child, or Grogu, if that's what you want to call him. But yeah, just interested me that they've done this for the Mission Fleet, and hopefully it will be coming soon for the Vintage Collection. The next thing I wanted to talk about was this fantastic looking Blurrg and Quill set. And if I was ever going to buy a set from the Mission Fleet line, it would have to be this one. I think they've done a really good job with the Blurrg. I mean, look at that. I think it's incredible in actual fact. And it just shows what potentially they could do for the Vintage Collection looking at this. You know, a fully articulated Blurrg, slightly larger, would look fantastic in the Vintage Collection. And I can't wait for them to do that. Again, I'm sure that it's on the cards. If they're doing it for the Mission Fleet, they've got to give it us in the proper line. As for the little mini Quill figure, that looks fantastic as well. For them to get that kind of head sculpt on a miniature figure like that is, you know, they've done a fantastic job with that. This is the sort of thing that my son possibly might be interested in. And yeah, as I said, if there's going to be a set that would interest me in the Mission Fleet, it is probably this one, at least until the Vintage Collection one arrives anyway. But yeah, these two reveals for the Mission Fleet, as I said, interesting just because of the fact that, you know, potentially next year we could be getting something similar in a slightly larger scale for the Vintage Collection. And also fans of the Black Series as well, you know, they did the dewback. There's no reason why they wouldn't do a Blurrg for the Black Series too. Other than that, they revealed another little mini set for the Mission Fleet, which I believe people have already been starting to find in store and online, retailers and what have you. It's a little mini set of 5 figures, if you can count Baby Yoda or the child as being a figure. You get the Mandalorian, IG-11, a Stormtrooper and Cara Dune. But as I say, I know this set is already around. People have done reviews of it, so we're not going to really talk about this one too much. But you do get a little crib for the child, and I'm not really too sure what age group this Mission Fleet's aimed at. I know some adult collectors are actually quite liking it and reviewing it and stuff. It's not for me personally. It's a bit too kiddie for me, but yeah, just looking at the Blurrg again, that sort of thing does interest me, but purely on the basis that hopefully we're going to get something like that in the Vintage Collection. The only other thing that was revealed today for Mando Monday was a very large Nerf rifle or Nerf gun. Retails at $119.99, so pretty expensive for a Nerf, but it does look pretty cool. It's based on the Mandalorian Amban Phase Pulse Blaster, basically his disintegrator blaster. Looks really, really cool with the 2 prongs at the front there, and if you're into Nerf guns, then I guess this is something that might interest you. As far as Nerf guns go, this one doesn't look too bad in my opinion, but yeah, it's not really the sort of thing that interests me. But yeah, thank you very much for tuning in today. It was literally just to tell you about the Blurrg and Quill figure. Really interesting that they've done that in the 2.5 inch scale. And yeah, here's to the Vintage Collection, and hopefully we'll get something similar next year. But Thank you very much for watching this video. This has been Mando Monday, and we'll see you on the next one.